Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. This time for what ends up to be another Lufenia. You get the burst token before this, which is kind of odd. Though I guess because it doesn't have a challenge quest that kind of makes sense. But this is a Lufenia stage. You should probably know if you've been playing this game for a while. It's kind of a lighter version of Beatrix's Lost Chapter. I'm assuming it's a bit toned down because you can't bring a friend at the very least. And because you have restrictions, like you need to bring 2 yellows and a gun character and a Final Fantasy 12 character. Balthier's fulfilling all three. Then I have Rude and Beatrix because, well, this is basically based on hers. But let's start the stage up and hope this goes well. Now, I'm not going to be using Beatrix's LD to start off. Generally you would, but these two will cleanse very early on. And I'll do another snatch shot here. She should put on a single buff. And then she... Oof. Yeah, there... that was a cleanse. She didn't have any debuffs on her at the time, but that would have been a cleanse. Have Balthier steal some. And now I'll shock with Beatrix. From what I can tell, this stage isn't really all that bad. It can go badly if you don't pay attention, but it's not too bad with the Balthier here. Since it has the same orb, though, you do have to make sure they give themselves buffs every once in a while. Or you could put yourself in a bad spot. I believe this first AoE is Advent of Trials, which isn't too bad. It gives them a few buffs, but otherwise is just a brave attack. The thing is, it also puts on this buff right here, which now instead of just poisoning you, they put on a buff that basically acts as a poison without being a poison, if that makes sense. Though, unfortunately, for Balthier here, he didn't get to steal it from them, so he got to take it off because that's what he does, but because he had too many famed buffs already, he wasn't able to retain it. Now they're both cleansing and putting on buffs here because of hitting the 69%, which is kind of bad for me because I made a boo-boo and used Beatrix's Holy Knights there before I should have. Which means this is going to hurt. Not as bad as it could have, but that was a lot of damage I really shouldn't have taken. Get a little bit of healing going. That ironically is fine. Let's LD here. Because of that regen, I didn't have to worry about being broken too much. That's fine. Take off some of those buffs. And I'm going to summon here. And I will steal another buff off of them. And I'm going to Holy Knights here because they're going to come out and summon, and they're both going to use their recast. And since I have that up, it's going to be ineffective. I'll use shock here. This didn't buff them, unfortunately. This upcoming attack should be Advent or Trials, so should be able to get some buff stealing action going then. It's pouring rods, but that still gives them a buff to steal, fortunately. And now they have even more buffs to steal. That's a miss. That has barely survived. Now seems as good a time as any to do this. Completely forgot I had calls for a bit. This should heal me right up. There we go. Kind of bad launch, but whatever. They're hitting pretty hard there. Now, let's see. Get that nice call going. And I'm gonna shock him. I'll take that buff, thank you. Yeah, no. Thank you, may I have another? This should finish off B. And let's finish off this one with his LD, just because. But that was fun. Took a little bit of finagling, but managed it. Show off my Pody used here. Once it decides to connect. There we go. Yeah, my artifacts for Beatrix are not the best. Got some decent ones for Root over here, but I've got nothing for Balthier. I haven't done much grinding for him yet. But yeah, that was the Lufenia. If you've played the Beatrix one, you pretty much know what to expect. And yeah, it might be a bit harder if you don't have Balthier, because it is highly centered around him. But I've seen some non-Balthier runs that seem to have done pretty well. As long as you have a way to dispel buffs, like with Beatrix, you should mostly be fine. But either way, good luck for anyone who happens to be pulling for the leading man here. I'm finding him really fun here, and as you can see, this isn't synergy to my knowledge. So he seems to work perfectly well in Lufenia. I don't think Abyss gets synergy, so yeah, I think this is his natural strength. It should be. Not super sure, but either way, hope anyone else who does this has fun with it. It was certainly a blast for me. See you, everyone.